Hello everyone, I am back once again, and today I'm going to be showcasing a Wi-Fi match for Pokemon Sword and Shield this time. Because like I said before, I actually do have matches recorded for Sword and Shield and Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, so yeah, so it's been a while, I know, but like I said before, I actually am really just taking my time when showcasing Wi-Fi matches, honestly, even if we're in Scarlet and Violet territory at this point, honestly. Because, yeah, you know, this isn't my job or anything, honestly, and I just like to do this whenever I like to, honestly. But yeah, but I do kind of want to get these matches out of the way, honestly, because again, it's been a while, and I feel like these should have been out a while ago, honestly. Although, let it be known that I may actually not showcase these matches until like maybe in the month of March, and I am recording these right now in February, so yeah. But yeah, just letting you know ahead of time, just in case if you're watching this, just know that this is not like a video that I made like a day ago, and it's here right now. But it might, who knows? I don't know. So anyways. My opponent for this match is going to be Chucho, QMP, or Chuchito as I like to call him, just because Chuchito is actually, or Chucho is actually a character that I actually remember from a novela way back in 2005, and kind of gave me nostalgic vibes, I'll admit. That's why I call him Chuchito, just to feel familiar again for some reason, even though I don't even know this guy, honestly. But yeah, so anyways, the teams are as follows, obviously. Honestly, his team looks very, very much doable, and I'll even go as far as to say that I can confidently beat this team, honestly. So unless of course we get the Heisenberg effect where this guy just magically does crazy plays and just outplays the hell out of me. That's one of the things to worry about when it comes to teams like these. But personally, I think matchup wise, I do think I actually have the edge here, actually. And with Tapu Lele on the front, I feel like I have nothing to fear, honestly. I was checking my team here, like, just to make sure that everything was, like, on point. Like, I didn't have any, like, mispreparations on my teams. Like, some of the mons have, like, missing moves or something. I was just making sure of that. Because, yeah, I didn't want to, like, lose whatsoever here. For no reason, at least. So, yeah, here we go. By the way, Chucho is actually someone that I'm actually going to battle more than once. Just because I actually did have a hard time finding people for Sword and Shield, as compared to Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, where there was actually plenty of people willing to play, honestly. At the time, by the way, because right now we're in Scarlet and Violet territory, and right now, that's the only games that people care about right now. And the very few that exist for Generation 8 is usually for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and not Sword and Shield. But yeah, anyway, so, here, I'm going to lead off with Garchomp, and he's going to lead off with the Miltank. Now I was thinking, okay, I can just Swords Dance this thing and just go for damage. Even if I don't one-shot this thing, I can definitely get the damage, because getting damage on Miltanks are always worth it because of how obnoxiously bulky these things are. Unfortunately, this man is actually going to do one of the most infuriating things in all of competitive Wi-Fi battling for Pokemon, and it is resort to RNG tactics. In this case, he's going to use Attract to make me become immobilized, which I don't remember what the chances are of staying immobilized. It might be 50-50, I'm not sure. But yeah, after going for Attract here, he's just going to go for the Defense Curl now to raise his physical defense, which is annoying, because I could have actually gone for the Dragon Claw and just gotten damage here. But I'm going to be immobilized again here. And here he's now going to go for the Body Press, which is a move that actually does a lot of damage based on the defense stat, basically. So this was actually very, very obnoxious. So here I'm trying to attack it once again, and I once again stay immobilized, and he just continues to go for Body Press and basically get very punished, or get punished very little is what I wanted to say, damn it. But yeah, yeah, so this was actually getting pretty obnoxious, actually. So I decided to just switch out Garchomp to make sure this thing doesn't just go down to bullshit RNG, obviously. So now I'm going to go into Conkeldurr here and just go for the Drain Punch. He's going to go for Body Press, which I want to believe I can take fairly well, because Conkeldurr's physical defense is actually pretty decent. It's a special defense that's pretty lacking. So here I'm going to go for the Drain Punch, hopefully to get as much damage as possible. Now here comes the other infuriating part. He's now going to go for Thunder Wave, and wouldn't you know it, I get fully paralyzed. This whole portion of the match is basically a reassurance that my luck in Generation 8 was always terrible. This match is basically a testament to that, because that's basically how it is. Right when I expect to be fully paralyzed, or infatuated in this case, it just happens, and therefore I just cannot do anything. And it's obnoxious because Conkeldurr should definitely just be able to take out this Miltank, but is not able to because of RNG bullshit, obviously. So, like, holy damn. Here, I was no longer paralyzed, but now I'm fully infatuated. This is what I meant by that this guy's, like, reliance on RNG strats. It was pretty obnoxious, honestly. Because I should have just been able to take this Miltank out a long time ago, and I'm just not able to. And instead, my Mons are just getting crippled little by little. But in a very fast pace as well, honestly. Like, everything is just getting whittled down pretty quickly, honestly. It's not even slow crippling, it's very fast crippling. And all because of RNG, which is insane, honestly. So here, yeah, like, obviously because of all this nonsense, like, here I'm just stopping to think, basically. And I don't even care if the match goes to time here, honestly. Because, like, I don't want to lose like this, honestly. It's just pretty lame, honestly. I've already lost to so many matches, like, because of this kind of nonsense, honestly. Or at least similar cases, because I think in most cases I usually just, like, there's only one single play that doesn't go my way, and it just costs me the entire match. And it's usually determined by RNG in most cases, so... Because, I mean, I don't know, that's just how it was for me in Generation 8. Anyways, here I send in the guard jump again, he goes for body press. This was just to basically, you know, get more, like a free switch into Tapu Lele. Here I wanted to go for the, I think I wanted to go for the Moonblast, but I think I went for the Psychic afterwards because I didn't want to risk this Miltank somehow living, honestly. So yeah, I think here I go for the Psychic, yeah. I know he has resistances to Psychic, but the problem was just that I didn't want to risk this thing surviving the Moonblast, because this is a timid Tapu Lele, which means that Stab Moonblast might not even do a lot unless it's choice specs, honestly. I think even if it was modest, it might not have been able to KO. And as you saw, even Psychic boosted in the Psychic terrain was not enough to take this thing out, so I was just like, yeah. And Stab's Moonblast, because it's not boosted by any terrain, obviously I couldn't do anything. So yeah, this thing is just gonna go for body press because seriously, this man literally just sits here just doing whatever he wants with this Miltank. I'm honestly glad I took out this Miltank, honestly, just because this Miltank was really just being incredibly obnoxious. Paralyzing two of my Mons and like basically taking one out entirely because of RNG, because I just couldn't attack it for some reason. And you know what's insane? This guy actually was effectively punishing me for usually having a team of all Pokemon being male, basically, because I don't know, I've always had a thing for using or having an entire team of male Pokemon. I don't know what's wrong with me in that scenario, honestly, but maybe it's because I like the color of the logo, honestly, because it's blue, and blue is my favorite color, by the way, but with my second favorite being green. But yeah, so I don't know, but bottom line is that I've always had a team of male Pokemon every single time, and whenever I have a female one, it's because it's exclusively female, or it's just, you know, I end up mispreparing like one of the Mons or something. Mispreparing, I wanted to say, geez, why do I say it wrong, honestly? Just seriously. But anyway, here, yeah, I'm gonna send out Roto now, and he's gonna go into the this thing, Mawabra, the Espeon, and I'm gonna try to, you know, go for, I think, a Volt Switch just to get some damage. I just wanted to see what this thing can do, honestly. I think that's why I even sent it in, honestly. Also, I think I was also fearing the Shadow Ball too from this thing, and I didn't want Tapu Lele to take unnecessary damage with the Shadow Ball, especially now that I know it's gonna outspeed because I'm paralyzed. Which was, man, this match was like, God, this has got to be hands down the worst match ever, honestly. The worst match, because this is where like all the RNG just blatantly comes in my face, honestly. Okay, so I don't go for Volt Switch, it turns out. I don't know, I don't remember this match very well. I just remember the parts where I was just getting RNG to death, honestly. Everything else was pretty much forgettable for me, honestly. So I'm gonna send in Sharpedo, it seems. I think I was, once again, like, fearing the Shadow Ball, and I didn't want Rotom to take unnecessary damage. I think I figured it might have been my win con if it wasn't gonna be Sharpedo. Here, he reveals that he had Reflect, though, so that just makes things all the more worse. So that's why, because of that, I went for the Protect. I was actually just gonna try to go for Crunch, because I wanted to believe he wouldn't have the Dazzling Gleam, especially after seeing the Reflect. And I was more afraid of Shadow Ball, honestly, that if he went for Dazzling Gleam, then I would have felt more comfortable going into Tapu Lele to possibly take out this Espeon. But yeah, so here I'm just thinking once again what I want to do. I think I do consider switching, because obviously the problem is that like right now the Reflect is up and Sharpedo really can't do anything since this thing is still fairly healthy, honestly. So I just hard switch into Tapu Lele right here, just to see what he goes for. I saw the Hyper Voice on this thing, so I was just like, this thing probably doesn't have Shadow Ball if if he has Hyper Voice, honestly. And if he has Reflect, honestly, I want to believe that he maybe has the other one, the Light Screen. Goes for Hyper Voice again, and actually does quite an amount, actually. Surprisingly enough. I kind of expected it to do less, honestly, for some reason. Maybe because it's not stat, but it's still a 90 base power move, honestly. So, I don't know, maybe I should have expected it to do that much. And Espeon's special attack is pretty good, actually, so I don't know. I think here I wasn't even thinking of how everything works here, honestly. In fact, I think now that I remember it, I think here it was a portion of the match where, because of this Reflect, I think I was just choking and just switching in the wrong mons at the wrong time and stuff like that. Although I think Tapu Lily's was a deliberate switch just because I wanted to stall out the turns of Reflect in a you know, like in a particular manner, so I can send in a mon accordingly to kind of, you know, help me with getting Sharpedo in safely and whatnot. Because I think I wanted to just take this thing out with Sharpedo, honestly. Since I wanted Sharpedo to do something, you know, because like I've been trying to get Sharpedo to put in work in these matches in Generation 8, but it's kind of been difficult, honestly. This is why I miss Mega Sharpedo, because Mega Sharpedo just, you know, like doesn't give me that problem very much. Like it doesn't just die in one hit. It takes a hit and then just continues to attack things with a very powerful strong jaw crunch, you know. So yeah, but anyways, yeah, this match, I don't know what to say, honestly. Like, I don't think I do a lot of good plays here, honestly. I sent in Corviknight here just to take a, I think it was a Hyper Voice, but here he's gonna have Shadow Ball anyways, I think, yeah. He's gonna reveal the Shadow Ball once again. And this was what I was fearing, so I was kind of rightfully fearing the Shadow Ball with Tapu Lele. And maybe that's why I was switching around a lot, but he now reveals it, and here I just went for the U-turn, I think. And try to send in the Rotom just to pivot again, because I think the Psychic Terrain, or not the Psychic Terrain, the Reflect wasn't wearing off. It wore off, but I think I did this whole timing thing wrong, basically, by sending it in and then, you know. Or maybe I knew that the turns left to kind of force me to just send in Rotom again, because the timing was just not right for sending in Sharpedo, because I think if I send in Sharpedo right there instead of Rotom, I would have been able to protect, but then he would have just gone for the Reflect afterwards. So yeah, I was kind of trapped here, honestly, no matter what I did. Here I'm going to send out Corviknight once again and get lefties. I think that was one of the reasons why I even pivoted into this, was just to get some leftovers recovery and see if I can actually maybe take a Shadow Ball. Or no, I actually don't do that, actually. Never mind, I'm dumb. I actually switch out into Rotom again, because again, I don't want this Corviknight to take too much damage, because I think this thing could wall a few things and maybe even dish out a bit of damage, honestly, especially with the body press. So yeah, he's gonna go for the Shadow Ball, which again was what I was fearing. And here I'm just gonna, I think, go for the Volt Switch now, I think, because I know I can't go for Toxic, because Toxic, you know, Magic Code these things have. So, and I don't want to get that reflected, obviously, because that would just be bad for my Rotom. It'll put my Rotom in a timer, which would be terrible. So here's gonna go for another Shadow Ball, annoyingly enough. And now I'm gonna Volt Switch, yeah. And I think here's where I finally go into Sharpedo, actually. But I'll be honest with you, like I said before, all of that nonsense that went on earlier, I think put me on tilt, and even though I sent in Sharpedo here, I think I actually did not go for the Protect. Or actually, no, I did go for Protect, but I think I do make a huge misplay here, and it was one of the dumbest plays I've ever made too, honestly. I go for Protect once here, just to get the boost, and he's going to go for Hyper Voice, which thankfully I don't take any damage from. However, unfortunately, right here, I actually was gonna go for the Crunch, but for some reason my stick didn't move, and I ended up going for Protect again, and that just caused this thing to just hit my Sharpedo for a lot of damage. It thankfully didn't go down, but unfortunately this is not a SwSh Sharpedo or anything like that. This is a freaking Life Orb Sharpedo. It's because the goal with this Sharpedo was just to come in and start attacking things and force switches and punch a lot of holes in my opponent's team. But unfortunately, this controller that I was using at the time wasn't allowing the stick to go down so that I can click Crunch, honestly. So yeah, that was actually incredibly obnoxious. Because even though the Reflect was still up, I could have just freaking taken this thing out, but man, like things just started to go downhill every single time just because I was way too tilted. And this only tilted me even further, honestly, because I was just like, God, why is nothing going my way today, honestly? Because yeah, no, like I think Sharpedo could have put in work after taking out this Espeon. It could have done some damage to the Venusaur if he wanted to send that in, honestly, and then I could have finished it off with maybe Tapu Lele or something. or even the Conkeldurr, honestly. But, you know, it didn't work out that way. So I did take out the Espeon, but now I lose Sharpedo, which really, really blows. And look at how crippled my team is now. All because of the RNG bullshit that happened earlier, honestly. It started causing me to like switch around just to play around Reflect and also get paralysis. Like the paralysis on Tapu Lele was kind of huge, honestly, because that pretty much slowed down my entire like speed control. Like basically I was not able to outspeed anything because that Tapu Lele, as you can see, it's scarfed, obviously. Like it was meant to just outspeed things and dish a lot of damage on it. But now it can't really do that because a lot of my opponent's teams or mons are very fast. Tauros has 110 base speed, and Venusaur I think has 80, but since I'm like paralyzed, you know, I think I'm still slower. I could be wrong on that, I don't know, but I just didn't think I was faster than any of his mons at this point. So yeah. And Espeon again, also 110 base speed and has Shadow Ball, so like I was just forced to switch around to see how I can accommodate my team despite all of this nonsense that just happened. And this is what I was able to come up with, and unfortunately I did blunder a few times, so rip me on that front. Here I'm going to send in Conkeldurr, and I'm going to go for the Drain Punch, because that's literally all I can go for. The only thing I'm hoping for here is that I don't get fully paralyzed, because again, that'd just be incredibly obnoxious, honestly. Like, with all the stuff that's been going on right now, I really would be damned if this were the way the match ended, honestly. Not being able to do absolutely anything. I do get the Drain Punch off, and it does a lot of damage, despite most Seismitoads typically being bulky. The reason why I think this did a lot of damage was because I actually, I run AV on this Conkeldurr, and since the guy T-Waved my freaking Conkeldurr, now Drain Punch is guts boosted, and therefore it does a lot of damage now. This is kind of why I wanted to take advantage of the fact that Conkeldurr was, you know, paralyzed, because, yeah, it's paralyzed, which means it won't be able to attack, but if I don't get fully paralyzed all the time, I should be able to just blow this guy's team away. So basically, despite everything that just happened initially, I still have a chance at winning this match, actually. Because again, this matchup just favored me entirely. It's just that the RNG just literally did not let me do anything, which is insane. So, okay. So here, I was just thinking if I wanted to switch anything out, but I decided not to. I just felt like I needed to just keep on attacking. He goes for Earth Power. Thankfully, because I'm AV, I actually take this very well. And I am going to Ice Punch this thing. And thankfully, it takes it out entirely, because this is not Mega Venusaur. I think, or it might have lived, honestly, but I did get a crit. But honestly, given all the stuff that just happened, I feel like I deserve that crit. Because, God, this match was just, it was just a whole nother, like, a whole nother game altogether, honestly. Here's gonna send out the Heatran. Again, a mon that Conkeldurr can take out, and even if he has Magma Storm, I can definitely take at least one. I just need to not get fully paralyzed. So here I was thinking, should I switch out? Because the reason I'm not trying to stay in with this Conkeldurr is because I feel like at some point I am gonna get paralyzed. I haven't gotten paralyzed yet, but I feel like now I might just get paralyzed. But I decided to stay in anyways. He does go for a Flash Cannon. Now I was thinking, okay, this probably will do less than, and it does. But unfortunately, I get paralyzed once again. And I was just like, okay, I got paralyzed once now. Now hopefully here, I don't get paralyzed. Because if I do, then again, I'm just literally just getting fucked by the RNG, honestly. You're gonna go for Flash Cannon again. Again, it doesn't do too much. But unfortunately, I remain paralyzed. And yeah, all because of that paralysis, honestly. Or should I say all because of that Miltank? Because the Miltank was really what fucked me in this match, honestly. Getting away with the tracks, then fucking T-waving two of my mons. Two of my most important mons for this matchup. And now it literally just got cucked because the paralysis just started to kick in right when I didn't want it to, basically. Yeah. The more I watch this match, the more frustrated I get, honestly. It's kind of annoying, honestly. Because, yeah, look at this. My mons are entirely crippled. And literally for no reason. But, yeah, it is how it is, honestly. It's just that, why me, honestly? Because I don't think I've ever seen anybody have, this bad of RNG, honestly. I've seen people post clips of them suffering some, game-changing RNG. But for me, this is just incessant RNG, honestly. Literally shoved up my throat, honestly. But, God. Here I'm just thinking, once again, what the hell do I send in? Because I really just don't want to lose this badly, honestly. it's like I feel like I'm after losing Congoldor, I did feel like I lost, but you know, at the time I was really pissed, and I just could not resign myself to losing this way. And yeah, here I'm gonna send in Tapu Lele. I want to believe that I can outspeed this thing because, you know, it has lefty, so I want to assume this is not like a speed invested Heatran, so I want to believe I can still outspeed this thing. And I'm gonna try to go for, I believe, the Shadow Ball, either that or the Thunderbolt. Yeah, either that or the Thunderbolt. Because what I wanted to do was just get as much damage as possible so that I can, you know, finish this thing off. I may not actually end up doing that though. Oh no, actually, I think I do actually. Yeah, no, I do. Okay, yeah, I do. I go for the Shadow Ball. I probably should have gone for the Thunderbolt now that I think about it. Let me see. Or actually, nah. I think even with Thunderbolt, I was not going to be able to take this thing out. So, yeah, no. Never mind. I do lose Tapu Lele here. I didn't have to lose this, but I just ended up losing it anyways. I'm going to send out Rotom now, just to go for Volt Switch. Just to finish this Rotom off. And if he switches out, I don't think he has any Volt Switch immunity. So, yeah. Yeah, his last mon is Tauros, by the way. So, yeah. I just Volt Switch, and if he switches it out for whatever reason, I should be able to get some free damage. I only have less than a minute to finish this match, but I'll be honest with you. I really didn't care how this match ended. Like, I didn't care if it went to time. I didn't care if the game says I win somehow, because honestly, like, this is a match that I feel like, not to disrespect my opponent or anything, but I really don't feel like my opponent deserved to win this match, like, at all, honestly. A lot of his team should have just went down and like, period, honestly. I might not have showcased this match depending on the outcome of this match, honestly. Like, if I 6-0'd him, this match would just not have existed, honestly. But god damn, did it really have to go this hard with the RNG? Like, damn. Yeah, here we go. He's gonna send out Tauros. Now here, I wanted to believe that a body press, because of the high defense stat that Corviknight has, it's not as high as Skarmory's, but it's still fairly high. I should be able to dish out just enough to maybe take out this Tauros, and with the recoil I wanted to believe I definitely could. Unfortunately, this thing had a Chople Berry, which if I used Conkeldurr to take this thing out would not have been an issue, honestly. But yeah, so I did nothing. So technically I did lose this match. I definitely did. Unfortunately though, I actually had 2 months in the back of my team, and he only had 1, and just based on that alone is why the game says I won, but I'm not going to show that, obviously, because, yeah, I don't like when the game says I won it when I should have lost either, honestly. But I also don't feel like this guy deserved to win. So this was more so just to give the game a middle finger, saying, fuck you. Because, yeah, no, this game literally was trying so hard for my opponent to win. And by literally giving him all the RNG luck in the world. So, like, God, that was just not the way I wanted this match to start. This was my first match in a long time, by the way, like, for Sword and Shield anyway, not for Generation 8 in general, because I was already doing Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl matches, but it was definitely the first one I did in a long time, because the last Wi-Fi match that I showcased for Sword and Shield was the match that I had against Exile Warrior, and yeah, that was like way back in, I think, 2020, question mark? I don't remember, it might have been 2020 though. If not 2021, but I think it was 2020. I don't remember, but yeah, bottom line is that I didn't do a Generation 8 match in a long time, and unless you want to count the Draft League matches, which, yeah, in that sense I did, and you saw that my matches were most of the time very bad, honestly. Whether because the opponents were very good or the RNG was just starting to kick in a lot of the time. In very crucial moments and stuff like that. So for me to come back to standalone Wi-Fi matches with Sword and Shield, and this is how it all starts, it was just pretty insane, honestly. Like I said before, this isn't the only match that I have with Chucho here. In fact, like I said before, it was just because of the fact that I couldn't find enough people to do Sword and Shield with, and this guy, crazily enough, was willing to give me a rematch somehow, actually. Like, I personally didn't want to play him again at the time, honestly, but I just figured, whatever, I don't really care. I'll just play him, like, again later or something. And yeah, by the way, that's going to be the next video whenever I get to it, obviously. I'm just going to showcase the rematch with Chuchito and see if I can actually beat him now without RNG getting in the way and whatnot. But yeah, so yeah, this match, also let it be known that this match, I was actually originally not going to showcase it on my channel, but it really just felt wrong not to, especially when the second match that I have with Chuchito was basically the intended first match. It wouldn't make sense for me to say that it was my first match with him when really this was the first match, honestly, that I had with him, and it was devastating. Plus, I thought it was kind of important to showcase, you fellas, that my RNG luck, when I say that it is very bad in Generation 8, is because it is. Because that's exactly what happened. All of my Draft League matches in the Pack League basically showcase that. And right now, this match, that's a standalone match, and it's the first one that I did in a long time, is also showcasing that. So it's like, goddamn. But anyways, like I said before, the guy was like, he's not a bad person or anything like that. He's actually very nice, actually. In fact, he's willing to give me a rematch just because, you know, I guess he wanted to, honestly. I don't know, honestly. I don't know. I was just looking for other people to play, and this was the only guy that I was actually getting, like, the yes, basically. Like, I'm battling and whatnot. Because, again, this was, like, near the time Generation 8 was coming to an end, basically, so obviously I couldn't really expect so much, but there was a lot more people playing Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl too, and I kind of already had way too many matches for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and I kind of wanted to give Sword and Shield some love as well. But anyways, so yeah, if you watched this match, thank you for watching, and I do apologize if I did sound kind of frustrated in some of this match, but it's because, I mean, come on, like, who wouldn't be frustrated at this nonsense? It was terrible, honestly, and I think this is arguably the worst RNG I've ever had. I think it's even worse than when I dealt with Fat Jesus in the NGDL for the first season, honestly. It's like, I think it was more terrible here, honestly, than it was there. So that's gotta say something. But anyways, until the next match, for now, just take it easy and have yourselves a good one.